opportunity. Just like I was introduced, my name is Olivia. I'm into vegetable farming, and vegetable farming is something I'm so passionate about. It's something I love to do all the time. Just something small about me. A graduate from the University for Development Studies with a bachelor's degree in biochemistry. One of my hobbies is farming. And one fun fact about me is that I like laughing, and I can actually laugh and make you laugh too. That's one fun fact about me. So today we'll be looking at how to make money out of something you love to do. Making money out of something you love to do. I know there are lots of things that we all do, but there are certain things that we really enjoy doing, and these are things that we can make money out of. So today I'll be sharing with you how to make money from an agricultural hobby. If you have a hobby in agriculture, I'm going to be sharing how you can make money out of that. Let's get started. And before we continue, there are certain misconceptions about agriculture that I just want us to take a peep at. One of them is people say agriculture is just a traditional way of farming. But then, in this 21st century, agriculture is actually the major source of technology. For instance, agriculture is where they use drones a lot, either to water crops, to spray crops, or even deliver food crops to people. It's just in recent times that the other sectors too are beginning to use drones in the delivery of other products like books and medical products. But previously, it was solely in the agricultural sector that you get access to some of these things. And now, technology have gotten to a point that with just an iPad on the farm, you'll be able to take a picture of a crop, and then it will be able to scan the crops and tell you what issue those crops have and provide you with a solution. Some people also say that agriculture is for illiterate people, which means that it's just for people who have not gone to school. But I just want to use Dr. Dako of Dako Farms. So Dako Farms is one of the largest poultry farms in Ghana. And this man holds a doctorate degree. He's a doctor, but he's still into agriculture, and he's making huge sum of money from it. Some people also say agriculture is not for the youth. And with this, I just want to use myself as an example, and other young people like Matthias of Aquafresh, who is providing solution for farmers when it comes to vegetable preservation. We also have Babette of Babette Foods, who is into processing of agricultural produce into baby foods and even adult foods. So after this, you can take some time to just search about them. These are young people, but they are doing great in the agricultural sector. Now let's look at some fun facts about agriculture. So, do we all know that agriculture employs more than 40% of the world's population, making it the largest employer in the world? So the agricultural sector by far is the largest employer in the world. Half of the habitable land on earth is used for farming. So half of the land that we are living on in the world is used for farming. The world raises and eats lots of cows. So we all like eating beef. That is why this fun fact is there. We all eat every day. We all eat every single day. If you're here and you don't eat, can you raise your hand? If you're here and you don't eat, just raise your hand for me. So I'm not seeing any hand. So that means that we all agree to the fact that we all eat. And all the food we eat comes from agriculture. whether it's meat, it's fish, it all comes from agriculture. Now, we are getting to the main point. We all know that when we are talking about agriculture, it's basically the rearing of animals or growing of. And in this aspect, everything is still grouped into four main animals, you grow crops. The first thing is that after you do this, which is called the production, so if it's meat, you either decide to process it into sausage, kebab, corned beef. You are deciding to process it into flour. If it's cassava, into gari, into mole. If it's vegetables too, you are either you send it towards the consumer, and the consumer is the end user of that product. And it's all of this. There are actually so many things that can be tapped from all the stages in the agri value chain. There's always something to tap from, and there's always something for everyone. I always say that the serious and sustainable money maker is agriculture. Now let's look at this. Although you may think of your farming hobby as a side hustle that you are doing for fun, there are several ways to turn it into a sustainable money maker. Just know your audience and communicate it. And I have a very simple tip here for you, which says that it starts with you. You can change the world. So we are going to take a very quick look at some of the hobbies that you can turn into agriculture or you can turn into an agribusiness. So if you love cooking, if you're someone who loves cooking, you can start a food processing business where you'll be able to convert one product in the raw state into something that can easily be consumed. Maybe if it's maize, if you take maize, some brown, tiger nuts, and mix it together, you are going to get a very nice recipe which can be used for breakfast. And it's a hobby, it's something that you like to do, you like to cook. And through that, you've been able to come up with a recipe that you can make money from. People can actually pay for your products. People can actually even pay to be taught that recipe. If you also like taking care of pets, maybe you like to have animals around, you like to have dogs around, you like to have cats around, you can easily start an animal farm because this is something that you love. You love animals, you love to be around animals. So starting an animal farm, maybe wearing goats, cattle, poultry, is something that you can easily do. Gardening. So if you are someone that you always end up finding yourself at the backyard doing gardening, it's something that you can easily turn into a farm, either a crop farm growing granules, maize, soya beans, yam, cassava, or growing vegetables like cabbage, green pepper, cucumber, among others. And people are going to pay for it, especially your neighbors who see what you are doing. They know the source, they know where it is coming from. So it will be very easy for you to turn it into a farm. If you love to teach, if you're someone who likes to teach, you want people to know something, you want to share that knowledge with somebody, you can spend time learning about agriculture, probably even visiting people's farm and become a pro, like become a master of it. and you easily become a go-to person. You can organize sessions, like teach people about agriculture. Who knows, you might even one day own an agric institution just because you love to teach and you spend time learning about agriculture. You are turning your hobby into a business and you're making money out of it. If you also like talking like me, you can become an agri consultant where people can come to you, or even speak about agric in public. You can organize seminars, like talk about agric, advocate about agric, just share information about agriculture. Thank God to technology, you can write blogs. If you like vlogging too, you can put videos. You can actually even visit people's farms, take videos of maybe how the whole farming thing is done. Trust me, there are some people out there who don't even know that cabbage has seeds. People are there, they don't know how cucumber comes about. They don't know how even groundnuts, they don't know whether you get it from underground. It has seeds that you plant. They don't know. So if you are someone who likes some of these things, you can actually take time, visit people's farms, make videos, upload them on YouTube, upload them on social media, and you'll be getting people patronizing it. If you like driving, you can go into grocery delivery where you take products from farmers and then you deliver to consumers. If you like sewing, you like fashion designing, you can actually sew protective clothes for farmers. And if you like shopping, you can always outsource agri commodities for consumers. Remember, there's always something for everybody in the agri space. Find what you love and make money out of it. Now we are zooming into another section of this, which is starting an agri business. So just like I defined agriculture early, now we are looking at, okay, I have all these hobbies that were mentioned earlier, but then how am I going to start an agri business, or how am I going to turn this hobby into a business? And with this, I came out with the 4 W's and 1 H. So in starting an agri business, the first thing you have to do is decide what to do, why you want to do it, where you want to do it, when you want to do it, and how you want to do it. Now, we are going to look at a deeper version of the 4 W's and the 1 H. So the first thing, which is the what? I call it the ideation, which is more or less like bringing your thoughts together, writing your thoughts down. So in this stage, this is the point where you think of, what am I going to do? Am I going to grow crops? Am I going to go into food preservation? Am I going to process? Am I going to recycle food waste? Am I going to do animal farming? Do I want to go into installing farm machinery for farmers or people? Or do I want to actually manufacture these? Then, when you find out what you want to do, for instance, let's take it as I want to go into food preservation. Then, why did I choose to go into food preservation? So, let me use myself as an example. So, before I started my farm, yes, I always knew that I wanted to go into farming. But as to whether it would be animal farming, so initially the plan was to go into poultry. That was even when I was in senior high school. I wanted to go into poultry. But then the plan changed along the way because the why changed. I found a bigger problem that needed to be addressed. than the poultry farming that I wanted to go into. So your idea can always change when you find your why. So when I realized that there was a bigger problem, which was access to vegetables being a challenge to people, and also I had the opportunity to be in a rural community where I realized that a lot of people were suffering from malnutrition because meat is expensive to afford. Though people rear animals, but sometimes they look at killing that animal to be more challenging. And because of the prolonged dry season in the north, it's actually difficult for people to do all year round vegetable farming. So people were prone to eating more of cereals and legumes. And these one do not actually offer a wide range of nutritional value as compared to what vegetables does. So I saw that need and I decided to solve it. So that was the why. So with the why, it's a problem that you are identifying and you are solving. Probably you realize that a lot of farmers cultivate their produce, but then in the end, they end up having a lot of post-harvest losses because they are not able to get access to markets. This is a very nice problem that you've identified, and it's something that you can solve. Or you've realized that there are animal farmers, maybe a poultry farmer, who is always having issues with feed formulation. Someone is rearing cattle, and the person is always having difficulty in getting access to feed. Or people are so busy that they find it difficult, maybe even squeezing one day in the week to go to the market and buy foodstuffs. It's also a very nice problem. Or you just want to be financially independent. You want to gain financial independence. Now, after identifying the why, now let's take it that I want to solve post-harvest loss. Now, where do I want to do this? Where? So in every business, your location is very essential in your growth. Do you want to have maybe an online store where the farmers will bring their produce for you to sell? Do you want to go from farm to farm to pick up these produce and sell? Do you want to take the produce even from the farm or even when the farmers bring it to you and take it to the consumers door to door? Do you want to do it online? Like you just want to have an online shop where maybe you put your produce there. So a bag of maize, a bag of millet, a sack of granuts, all of that. Then consumers will go to that page, place their order. Then you now go to the farmers to take it. Is that what you want to do? Do you want your business to be operating in an urban community or in a rural community? Where do you want that business to be? So when you're able to find out your location after finding your what, now you found your location. After getting all this, now the next thing is okay. We have what we call smart goals, and it's the same thing in starting an agribusiness. You have to set smart goals for yourself, which is attainable, realistic, and time bound. Set goals that you know that you can achieve. Maybe you want to start a farm. Overnight and say you are going to start on 100 acres of land when you've just been doing it on a small piece of land. It's a gradual process. On 2 acres or on the 100 acres. And with that, you now be able to break it down that, okay, to achieve this 100 acres, maybe I'll have to first do 10 acres, maybe in the first quarter of the year. Then after I harvest, The next time I'm going to plant, I'll add another 10 acres, making it 20. So that by the time the 2 years is there, you would have also been there. But if you just set a goal like you want to do 100 acres, you've not given a timeline. Oh, it's just till infinity or it's till eternity. Anytime I want to do 100 acres of farming, that is not a realistic goal enough. It doesn't have a time. It's not even measurable. You cannot even measure because you just open it. It's just an open goal that you've made. So it is important that as people who aspire to translate our hobbies into businesses, we should be able to set realistic timelines. And then it will constantly remind us that we have something to achieve within a particular period. And when you even have something like this, it makes it easier for you to be able to get people to buy into what you actually do or what you aspire to do. So if you're able to tell somebody that I'm going to start my farm in the next 1 week and you need support from me, it will be much more easier for me to invest in you, knowing that okay, within 2 weeks I should start seeing your results. But if you just come and tell me that you want to start a farm, you've not given me a duration. So it's actually even going to be difficult for me to believe in you. Now, we are going to look at the how. So the how is maneuvering your way. How are you going to maneuver your way out of this? So now you have your idea, you found your location, you've set your timelines for it. Now, what you are going to look at is what are the things that I need to execute this idea? What structures exist? Are they agric extension services? Are they places that I can learn from? Are they corporate institutions that support agriculture? These are structures that you should be looking out for. You should also be looking at, are there resources available for me to use? If I want to go into processing, maybe I want to go into processing tomatoes into powder. Are there machinery available for me to do that? Is the human resource there? Should in case I want to expand, am I going to get the required technical expertise? Or even as I'm starting, I don't have so much knowledge about it. Am I going to get the technical expertise that I need to be able to do that? So that is the what, the how. Now, after all this, what are the next steps? After your 4Ws and then your 1H, what are the next steps? So the next thing you should look at is identifying your potential market. You have the idea, very nice one. But if you have an idea or you've identified a problem and then you don't have people to buy that particular solution that you are bringing, you'll be out of business. And in the end, you will not be enjoying that hobby that you've turned into a business. So first of all, you have to identify and do a research on your potential market. You can do this through personal interviews. Maybe you've realized that post-harvest losses are always occurring. You can identify some farmers, interview them, just so that you have your facts that yes, it's indeed true that post-harvest losses do happen. You can also conduct a survey or personally observe. Just observe some farmers when they farm their produce. How do they handle it? What do they do to it? Or if it's a food processor, what do they do? How do they do it? And you can actually do a full trial too. So with a full trial, what you can do is that maybe let's take it that you are into processing. You are trying to process granules into paste. And maybe you are trying to make it unique in some way. When you finish, you can give it to people to try and then give you feedback. Then you use that feedback to improve on the products. In the process of doing that, you're actually identifying your market. Is it restaurants who will be buying my granite paste? Is it food vendors who will be buying my granite paste? Or students, or even individual households? After that, we now assess the skills and resources again. So you can see that resources keeps appearing because if you have all the ideas in the world and then you don't have the available resources to execute them, it will not work. So at this point, you can spend time by improving your skills through learning, seeking for expertise, mentorships. Then after that, you do a viability and sustainability test on what you are coming to do. You calculate or weigh, okay, I'm coming to do granite processing. What happens in the next 5 years if someone else comes to do granite processing? Will I be out of business? Or what happens in the next 5 years if maybe they don't bring granules again, or I don't get granules again? What am I going to do? Or even if more upgraded form of granule paste comes, what am I going to do? Does it mean that I'm going to be out of business? So what you do is that you weigh these ones and see what innovations can I bring into the business in the next 2, 3 years, or in the next 5 years. What are the things that I'm going to do to make sure that the business is sustainable? Am I just going to continue processing, or I'm going to add other things like providing training for people, opening room for other people to come and use my center to also process their granules? Am I going to focus on packaging my products? Am I going to introduce other form of product, maybe turning the paste into a juice or something? Bring innovations. Then after this, you register your business. So registering your business is very important because it's actually going to serve as one of the tickets to getting funding from organizations or even from individuals. So you register your business and then you start looking for funding. So now we are looking at funding your idea. Funding your idea. And you can see that the first point there is fund it yourself. Fund it yourself. Fund it yourself. I've said this for like 3 times because if you are starting a business, it's actually more advisable for you to use your savings or support from family and friends to start the business. When you are able to do this, investors feel confident knowing that even you, the business owner, you believe in your business. And that is why you've been able to use your own money to start something. Nobody likes to invest in someone who have not invested in his or her own business idea. If you come and tell me that you are going to do a cold storage for farmers, and then I've not seen you doing anything about it, you've not even gotten a land, you've not gotten anything. Sorry, Joe, you had your hand up.
It was by mistake. You can continue.
Okay. So you are doing something that you yourself you don't have hope in it, and so you are not investing in it. No external person would also want to invest in it. But when you start, at least you've gotten like an acre of land. Then you come to tell me that I'm an investor, and you've come to tell me that, oh, I want to go into vegetable farming. So far, I've been able to acquire 1 acre of land, and I need 500 Ghana cedis to purchase another acre of land or to even purchase seeds. It's very easier for me to invest in you than you come and tell me that, oh, I want to start vegetable farming. Oh, but me, I don't even have land. I don't have anything. I don't even have money to start, or I've not even started anything. I just want to start it. So please invest in me. Trust me, no investor will do that. They will not do that. Now, the second one is crowdfunding. Crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is basically a way of raising funds for your business through a group. So this one, we already have some platform. One of them is Kickstarter, GoFundMe, Indiegogo. So these are platforms where you can post maybe what you are doing, how far you've come, and then seek for the support that you are looking for. Then you get people contributing to support that goal. Then we also have angel investments. So angel investors are rich people who love to invest in businesses. So they are just rich people. They like to invest in businesses. An example of some angel investments are Shark Tank. So after this, you can just search for Shark Tank, Dragon's Den, and then you see what they do there. Then grants. Grants is actually one of the most advisable means of funding for startups, because grants are, I call it free money. So grants are like free money that is given to you to grow your business. Loans are not that advisable. Not going to go well. You don't know whether maybe the year that you plant your crops, that's the year that droughts will happen, and then you lose everything. So yes, you can go for those are not really advisable. So some grants are the Tono Elumelu Foundation grants. We also have the KIC, Cosmos Innovation Center, who do open applications that you can apply for to get these funding. Thank you. And we are going to discuss questions and discussions. If
Olivia, for this wonderful presentation, I'd like you to add something small, just a bit of your story. I think you can go back to the picture of you holding the fruits and add as while you tell us a bit of your story, not just much, but a little bit so that to have an overview of how you started. At least we'll pick some points from it. Olivia.
okay, sure, I'm going. Okay, so here I am. Once again, my name is Olivia Kipo, co-founder of Kobaa OK Enterprise. So Kobaa OK Enterprise is into the cultivation of vegetables such as cabbage, green pepper, cucumber, pepper. We also process chili pepper into powder. And I'm really excited that my co-founder is on the call. I'm so excited that he's on the call too. So Kobaa OK Enterprise started back in 2018, where we realized that individuals, especially those in the rural communities, struggle with access to fresh vegetables due to a prolonged dry season. And it leads to a high rate of malnutrition in that particular community that we found ourselves. And even in the urban communities, the few vegetables that are there are sold under unhygienic conditions and making it unhealthy for consumption. So sometimes you go to the markets, you buy a head of cabbage at an expensive price because of transportation costs all the way from the southern part of Ghana to the northern part of Ghana. You take this cabbage home, end up peeling all the cabbage away. Your money is gone. and you didn't actually achieve what you wanted to achieve. So looking at all these problems, we decided to start Kobaa OK Enterprise. And like I said, it started in 2018, but then was commercialized in 2019 on just an acre of land. Right now, we are farming on 8 acres of land, and we are hoping to still do more. We do all year-round farming as well. Yeah. So the journey has not really been that smooth. There are times where you actually feel like giving up, but then it boils down to a hobby. If it's something that you love to do, if it's something that you are really passionate about, you always be able to sail through. You have the hard times, you have the downs, but then once it's something that you love, you always find your feet back on ground and then you continue. Thank you.
Olivia, this has been a wonderful session. I believe those who have missed probably the YouTube channel recording is what may help them, but they've actually missed a lot. So I'd like to ask those who of us who are online, if you have any question, just kindly raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask your question. She's all here. This is the opportunity you have to ask some questions, uh, whatever that it pertains to. So just, or if you have something to add up, you can just do that now. Okay, Nathaniel, you can speak. Mr. Nathaniel, you can speak. The floor is open. Hello, Nathaniel. Hello, Nathaniel. Okay, if anyone has questions, if you can't hear, you can just type it on the comment section. We'll see it. Okay, so I want to ask Olivia, whilst he types his question, how do you get land? Because we realize that some of us, the locations we are, the lands are expensive and all that, and some building and some going in for land for farming, they are not the same. So how are you able to secure land?
Okay. Thank you so much for this question. But before I answer, let me just put something quick here. These days, technology have made it such that even if you don't have land, but you can farm. We have aquaponics, which is going off fish and using waste from that fish and even the water that the fishes to grow vegetables. We have hydroponics, which is growing food or crops on water. We have sun, and you are good to grow your crops. You can use buckets, you can use pots, even shoe racks. You can hang shoe racks on your wall, put sun inside, and you are good to grow your vegetables. Now back to the question of how do I get land? So fortunately for me, the community that my farm is, it's a place that I'm very familiar there. And Prior to that, I've been doing a number of social works like supporting young people in school. And the community knew that this is something that we're doing. So when we brought up that idea that this is the other problem that we've identified and then we want to solve it, so we would need land to do it. It wasn't actually so difficult for them to give us the land. So one thing I would like to emphasize is that if you know you are passionate about agriculture and you've identified a community that which is your location that you want to do it, start something. It doesn't have to be something big. You can even do sensitization programs. You can do advocacy programs. You can advise the young people. Maybe some people are there, they are forcing their children to get married and all of that. You can advise them on some of these things. Maybe something new is happening. Educate people. Do voluntary services in that place. And trust me, you gain recognition. And when it's time for you to get a land or to also get help from them, it will be very easy for them to reciprocate. Nonetheless, there are also some communities that if you want land and you have money, they will sell for you. Thank you.
Yente William Sobe is asking if the slides will be made available. I believe they will be made available. And also, the recording of this particular session will be on YouTube for you to join in or for you to be able to have access to it. So, Olivia, I would like to share the YouTube page so that those who are just joining in can what see the particular page where they can access the videos after this.
Okay, that was fine. I think Nathaniel has been.
So Nathaniel has typed, okay. So the name of the channel is Joe Yabzo. Just go to YouTube, search Joe Yabzo. My internet is loading a bit slow now. So just search Joe Yabzo on YouTube or on even uh, on your normal search, and you'll find the app over there or the channel. So once you search and you go to the channel, you are going to see the videos that are being uploaded there. This session is not just the only session that we are going to be having. In the future, we will have some probably in the months to come. So if you're not on a WhatsApp group, just leave your contact and we'll add you up to the WhatsApp group. So this is the channel, Joe Yabzo. The videos of yesterday and the day before they are uploaded. So we have the day before yesterday's video by Maoli over here, and we have the video that the session we had yesterday. We also have it right online, which will come public very soon. So just go to the channel and you'll have access to these ones. And the coming months to whatever that we are going to be doing will be put there. So Gideon, please, you can ask your question. Yeah, Gideon, please, you can ask your question. Hello, Gideon. Wow. Okay. So if there is no question for now, I just, as I said, encourage that you subscribe to this YouTube channel because that's where we are going to have everything. And the big announcement is that Monetize every month we'll do our best to have a session online where we get to interact with various young entrepreneurs. Our focus is on peer-to-peer entrepreneurial advices. Someone has a hand raised up and speak, Solomon. Mr. Solomon, the floor is open.
All right. Thank you very much. how are you able to balance your professional work and then your hobby? And you know that trying any of you can make money out of it. How do you arrive? Thank you.
So there's this adage that says that jack of all trades, master of none. So yes, people have multiple hobbies. Let me take myself for instance. One of my hobbies, dancing. But I certainly know that I cannot dance to make money. I know that there's no way I can dance to make money. So if you have multiple hobbies and you think that all of them you can make money out of them, that is why it's important that you do a feasibility study or you do a market research. So you have three hobbies. One of them is maybe cooking, the other one is dancing, and the other one is singing. You can just try some few people, try singing to some few people, get their comments, try dancing to some few people, get their comments. Then with those comments, you'll be able to see, okay, if I do this one, I'm going to be getting people patronizing it. Or if I do this one, I'll be getting people patronizing it. I don't know whether that answers your question.
Monetizing your hobby. It is not monetize all your hobbies. It is the hobby that you can use to solve a particular problem. The hobby that you'll be able to use it to solve a particular problem. That is what you can actually monetize and become very productive at it. If you're going to monetize everything, you may at the end of the day make no impact or make little impact. So you just identify the one that is able to solve a problem within. I think if you watch yesterday's video, this actually was explained there. And once you identify that particular one, you make use of it to what? Help yourself and also help others. So I think that's probably what I'll add up. And also, when it comes to your profession, it's just time management. You find enough time to plan what your hobby is. Find enough time after work, you work on it, you keep on improving, keep on improving until the day that you are ready to launch out. And once you are launching out, you know that you are launching out strong and you are launching out with others as well. So if this, I don't know if this answers your question as well.
Oh yeah. Thank you very much.
Okay, so there's another question from Yinse Williams. So if you want to export your products, how do you deal with that? So exportation, we already have international people here. So if you want to export, how do you deal with that?
Okay. Thank you so much, William, for the question. Joe, please, can you mute? Okay. So, if you want to export your products, there are a series of steps that you have to do, and then there are a number of certifications that you have to do. Some of them will include FDA certification, and you might also even have to do some certifications with the Ghana Exports Authority. There are also some organizations like Fair Trade. Fair Trade, let me just type it here. So you can search about them. They also help people to export. And the internet is always available. You can always research maybe which institution can help me export my products. Then you reach out to them. What procedures do I need to follow before I can export? When you're able to get all of these in place, it will be able to assist you export. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I hope that answers your question, Williams. So any other questions before we wrap up? It's almost 9 o'clock. Actually, we did not start on time, but we will have to also end. So any question? All right. So if there's no question now, I would like to thank Olivia very much. Actually, it was a very short notice that she'll be having an input at Monetize Your Hobby 2.0. And this is the first session that we are having it online in this particular platform, Google Meet. We've actually had it the first one on WhatsApp, and it wasn't very effective. But thanks to all those who made time to join, it has been really helpful. And I'll encourage us to share the video when it comes so that those who are uh, not here can actually benefit from whatever that we are learning here. There are a lot of businesses we can do out there. We don't have to join the Unemployed Graduate Association. We don't even have to overly depend on others. You can actually start business that is going to help you as a side hustle while you're in school. Olivia did not mention this, but actually, when she was doing her business, she was on campus. She was on campus whilst the farming was going on. So when you ask the question of how do you do it, it's about management. There are sometimes that you're on campus, she leaves campus to go home and attend to the business, to go home and attend to the farming. And also, one thing is getting people who are committed alongside. Once you get people who are committed to go on a journey with you. They are going to actually journey with you and you make a lot of progress. They say if you want to go far fast, you can walk alone. But if you want to go far, walk with someone. So get people that are visionary, not just anyone. Yes, we spoke about this a lot of times. And something that I would like to reiterate again is that be someone who volunteers yourself, your skills for free. Mauli mentioned this, I mentioned it, Olivia is also mentioning it. Be someone that can volunteer your skills for free. It's actually important. You don't know who is watching you. And once you don't know who is watching you, there are some times that you just go to knock on the door, only to realize they were watching you from afar, waiting for you to just come and knock on the door. And those are opportunities that we can take advantage of. So thank you very much for joining Monetize Your Hobby 2.0. God bless you. And as I mentioned to those who joined on the first day, I'm going to share with you the reason for it or the group that is responsible for it. So the Yabzo Impact Foundation is actually responsible for all that we've gone through. So you can check on the screen for the logo. So the Yabzo Impact Foundation is a group of young individuals who are passionate about helping others to grow. We go into entrepreneurship sessions, we have tech outreaches, we have brighter future conferences for youth and all that. And this is one of our activities. This particular we are doing it online. So if you want to join us in any way, if you want to sponsor in any way, you can actually reach out to us. We actually looking for partners also to run certain programs at certain locations because we can't be everywhere, but everywhere needs to be impacted. And also you can check out our programs on Facebook. The name on Facebook is still the Yapzo Foundation. We are working on the rebrand, but before then, the Yapzo Foundation is what you can find us on Facebook. So just follow us on Facebook to know what's going on and all that. And at the end of the day, it's all about impact. So thank you very much and bye bye.